IMAGEWRAPS.CA is an exceptional design company that specializes in providing top-notch race car design services. From eye-catching race car numbers and striking schemes to captivating logos, IMAGEWRAPS.CA can bring your vision to life. With their unparalleled expertise and creativity, they have been responsible for crafting some of the most memorable and awe-inspiring rides in the industry. Led by the talented duo of Craig and Doug Camrath, the team at IMAGEWRAPS.CA is dedicated to delivering designs that not only make your partner stand out on the track, but also leave a lasting impression off of it. Trust in their professional touch to take your race car design to the next level and make a powerful statement.
This episode of the Stickers and Scuffs podcast has been brought to you by REMAX Jack. Jack provides a friendly, customer-driven service in search for homes and provides excellent details on the market, values, and trends in buying and selling. Jack has been able to work with Cam on his search and always makes himself available when he has a question. REMAX Jack will help you if you're looking to buy or sell a home within the GTA. He's who Cam K trusts to find his next home, and he should be yours too. Remember, call REMAX Jack and start to pack. For more information, go to REMAXJack.ca.
Stickers and scuffs in the fast lane, yeah. Live with the raw, feel the drive, yeah. Madness on the track, we ain't slowing down. Cam and Graydon taking it around town. From the bleachers to the pits and pride, stories scream loud, no place to hide. Engine screaming gas pedal to the floor. Ontario nights, we keep asking for more. Broadcasting live through the metal and might. Under the lights, racing pure delight. Going to flash.
Hey, let's go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Cam K, Graydon Bunn here with our first guest from the Can-AM Midgets series in quite some time. Last was Corey Woodham. I want to say it was back in maybe 22. So it's been a while since we've had
we're having a
somebody
good
from the
time
Can-AM
already.
series.
Yeah, he won the championship that year, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, the time we won the championship. So we got the driver, the number 7 Beatty's Distilleries, probably the best looking ride in the division. Jeff Blackburn.
November 30th when it comes to banquet, and they have best appearing car. So it's the best one, but I think it is. We'll see.
He thinks
How you doing,
it is.
man? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. I'm happy to be here to support you guys, and it's good for our club and my team, my sponsors as well. So it's good all around. I'm happy to be here.
Let's hear about it. Let's hear about the club. How'd you get involved?
How did I get involved? Okay, so, well, it kind of it comes from my dad again. We raced go-karts for many years. And then once we were like we ran go-karts for many years. I don't know how many years it was. It was from age 7 to about, oh God, I don't even know. I think 2006 was my last go-kart race. And then he saw an outlaw midget race at Barrie Speedway, actually. And then he wanted to get me into that. So he went out. He was at that race. I wasn't, actually. And he saw this car. He liked it, and he wanted to get me into oval racing. So he contacted the guy. His name's Brian Flynn, who actually he still wrenches on the Can-Am till today. And we bought his car, got into that, raced that for a couple of years, won a championship in that. And then when I was racing the oval stuff and the Outlaws, that's when I saw the Can-Ams. And I was like, whoa, starstruck. Can-Ams. Like, these things are just like, I don't know. They're like go-karts, outlaw midgets, whatever you want to call it, but on steroids, basically. And that's where I wanted to go, basically. So once I won a championship in the outlaw midgets, the next year, pretty much, we went out and bought a Can-Am midget, and that was in 2011, 2012, something like that. And that's when we got into the series. We bought a car, and at that point, it was, well, my dad came from race cars, so he knew the whole suspension thing and this and that. But I was a go-kart guy, no suspension. Went to Outlaws, no suspension, and now I'm in Can-Am suspension. And not only that, now you got gears, you got all this stuff. So it was a whole new ball game, which is fine by me, but it was a new learning curve. So we got into that 2012. We, put our time in, meaning like we did our testing, we did our like the whole thing where like you're learning stuff. Like you take things apart, you put it back together, you find guys who can make certain parts up, this and that. Like you find your way throughout the years, basically, and we did. But when I first started, that it wasn't like a consistent, from race one to the last race. Like we would start out like for the first few years, we had a lot of bad luck. We would get in crashes, parts that fatigued and broke, and we would get taken out, this and that. So we were down the points for the first few years, and then sometimes I would just kind of pull out and then go over the program again, fix shit, and then come back next year. So we didn't like for the first few years we didn't run full seasons. I would say we had full intention to, but the way things went, it didn't work out because we're on a tight budget. We didn't really have many sponsors back then either, this and that. So we would try our best at the beginning. Stuff happened, and then we would end up pulling out and racing some races or whatever. Because with the Can-Ams, it's a different kind of series. Like you can't just go to Bicknell, Grisdale, or Napa or this and that and just buy a part off the shelf. You know what I mean? Some things, yes, but that's more so for the engine stuff because it's stock stuff, it's Suzuki stuff. But for like parts and stuff, you gotta manufacture most of it. You gotta fabricate it. You know what I mean? So if you can't do it, you gotta go find someone who can do it. So that being said, from 2012 to right now, 2024, it's the same thing. Guys are still doing the same thing. You can't pull stuff off the shelf. You can't. There's more things you kind of can, but you still got to find someone who can fabricate or manufacture it if you can't do it yourself. So it makes the series a little more challenging, I guess you could say. Not difficult, but challenging. So in the beginning, I didn't have those resources or the money and this and that. So I had to pull out and, regroup and then come back the next year. So the first few years were just kind of finding my way, getting the experience, seat time, this and that. And then about halfway through, then I started kind of getting more competitive, running full season, this and that. My first championship was in 2021, which is awesome. I feel like I should have had one the next season, but something happened at Flamborough. I got in an accident in the heat race. We came off. Flamborough said I was speeding through the pits. I got parked that night, so I couldn't race the final race. 2023, we had some challenges. We didn't get the points we needed on it. I put in, and then 2024, it came down to the last race, and the last race got rained out, so which kind of sucks. So that's the worst,
Didn't even get a chance.
Exactly. So in 2022 and 2024, I didn't even get a chance. I got parked in 2022. 2022, all I had to do was finish 6th or better. And I know. And I got
that's a stinger.
When you have something like that, Jeff, because we've had a lot of racers that talk to us about that it almost broke them. And they were almost, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
It was very close. Like I was so upset with the club. But then it wasn't the club's fault. It was the track's fault. But at the end of the day, the track, I felt like they could have done a little bit of a better job. I don't know. Like, there's two sides of the story, right?
Yeah.
So my side is, when I got wrecked, it came off, went to the pits, we got it fixed, and it was still yellow. So we could still go back out. I peeled out of my pit, but I was still in first gear. So it sounded worse than it was. But there's a lot of competition in the series. So I think there was other people that wanted to see me not make it.
Mhm.
Their voices were, talking to certain people saying, no, this, so whatever, da da da. And the track got involved. The track was trying to, do the safety thing, which is
Yeah.
correct, yeah. But I just think it could have been settled a lot better than it was, because I don't think it
Mhm.
was a dangerous issue at the end of the day. I think it was more just I don't know.
But you came back.
What's that?
You came back and you still raced.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was that night, and then obviously this year it was crazy. It was the championship night. It really rained and it hailed. It hailed. The first time I ever seen hail on a racetrack. Hailed for about
Yeah.
an 5:30 to 6:30, but it was so bad there was like literally rivers going through Flamborough, and
I saw a couple pictures of it. I couldn't believe how much it rained there.
I couldn't believe it either. But like it was like the gods were there for Han that night, because we should have raced that night, but I don't know. Han ended up winning the championship because we didn't race that night. But it literally rained for an hour and they called it, and I was like, man, no, we could have got this event in tonight, which sucks. So I felt like that this year was stolen for me, and I feel like 2022 was stolen for me as well. But it is what it is. That's racing. It happens. You gotta just roll the punches. And I was upset with the club. I was upset with the track. But at the end of the day, they got to make their decisions. They have reasons, and you have to respect it. And it is what it is. So I've taken it on the chin as best I can, and I keep coming back. And I hope to come back even stronger this year in 2025. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the club itself, Jeff, it's going to be celebrating 60 years since its inception in 1965. I mean, that dates
Jeez.
back to, the era of like big horsepower, not a lot of aerodynamic rules, and like the open wheel bug was everywhere back then, and so that kind of makes your series a throwback of sorts, but it's definitely deep rooted in the fabric of motorsports. What's it mean to you to race in a series like that?
So yeah, no, that's another reason why I really love this series, because it goes way back and there's a lot of history. There's a lot of big names in this series that have run through this series and run it. That's why I like it. Because it's not just going back so many years. It's like back in the day they used to run, honest to God, I think it was like 30 races. They used to run from like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They used to run in the States up here. Like I was talking, like my old car owner, Andy Mackrick, they used to run like Wednesday, Thursdays. They used to wreck, come back home to Mississauga, repair their car, go run down, like drive down back to the States, run another race down there, come back. That's what I would love to do right now. It's not how it is right now with us, but like it's just that's odd. Like that's small, short track, old school racer right there. You know what I mean? Like you work in your shop at your house, you get the car ready, you go race Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, you make some money, you come back and you wreck, you repair it, you go back out there again and you give her hell. Like that's real racing to me, short track racing. And like there's so many years of that, like you said, like deep roots. And I respect that a lot. I like that kind of stuff. It's the club's changed over the last few years. That's for sure. I hope we get back to where we were about, I'm gonna say 20 years ago. I'm gonna say, yeah, like when I started in 2012, we raced like Lake Erie, Lancaster, Holland, like
Right.
states. You know what I mean? Like we were like Can-AM, Canadian American Midgets, basically. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like to get back to that. And see what the guys in the American series come back and racing with us. Like there was like legitimate series, like where it was like the Americans and the Canadians are raced together, and there's a point series between the both of them. They raced the Canadian and the American racetracks and all that. And I would love. And I don't know if you guys heard, but Albert, one of the founding guys for the Can-Ams, just passed away recently. That's Kimmy's dad. I don't know, Kim and Terry. Terry Watts. He does the Oshweekend. He does them, and then he does the Can-Ams with us. His wife, Kim, and then her dad is Albert. Albert's one of the founding guys for Can-Ams, but he just passed away recently, and he's actually.
I saw that. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, go ahead. No, he has his funeral on the 17th, I think, next weekend. I think, yeah. So one of the founding guys. Rest in peace for Albert. He was a amazing man, so nice. Whenever you saw that guy, it was always a smile and a handshake. That guy, he was an absolute beauty, and it's sad to see him gone now. But everyone has their time. But he was one of the guys, and I hope to get back to what they used to do. It was like the Can-Am stuff, and the Canadian American stuff. But right now it's kind of split. Sucks, but some guys come out and race with us, and some of us go down and race with them, which is all right. But when like I said, when I started in 2012, like the first few years, like we used to go down to Lake Erie, and Lake Erie is a beautiful track, like 6 lanes, like huge. It was almost like wide open. But we would go down there and we would run our race, the Can-Ams, and then the American guys would run their race. But at the beginning of the night, we would do a big parade lap, which was the Can-Am guys and then the American guys. It was like 20 of our guys, 20 of their guys going around 4 abreast. You know what I mean? And they have fireworks going up there, and
cool.
It was really cool, really cool. But I hope we can get back to that. And I know Kim and Terry are on their way out. They've done an amazing job with the club. Amazing job. I know they're getting older, they're getting tired. So hopefully, when I think this year's our last year with the club, now that Albert's gone, and I think Terry said this is his 60th year or something like that. I don't know, something like that. So maybe after when they leave, we can, try some new things with the club. Go back to the States, do the Holland races, Lancaster, Lake Erie, and stuff like that. The other thing too is I would like to do is the autumn colors. We used to do that, and then I don't know what happened there. That happened with their old president, Kenny Lorenz. Kenny Lorenz. He was the kind of guy who he lived up here in the summertime, and then once it got cold, he'd go back to Vegas. He lived in Vegas, so he didn't like the autumn colors. It was too cold for him. So I'm hoping we can get back the autumn colors with everyone, because that's, honest to God, that's a big event for everyone. I think that's
safe to say that's a bucket lister.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, a lot of guys in our club, that'd be great, because it's cool. The last hoorah of the year. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants that autumn color title. So if we could do like some bigger events, that'd be great for the club. It's we've been kind of sticking to our routine, which is like the same tracks, the same for the last few years. We haven't really strayed from that. But Kimmy and Terry do a lot, and they do what they can. But they're getting tired and they're on their way out. So maybe we get a new face in there and we can start getting back to some tracks that we used to run at. Like I know Delaware and the APC guys, they were talking to Terry and they loved us. They're like, we want to get you guys at Delaware. And I know like a bunch of guys wanted to do it, but there's also a bunch of guys that don't want to do it because they think it's too fast, too scary, this and that. But back in the day, like in the 90s, before that, like they used to run Delaware, all that stuff, like the CNE. They used to have big sponsors like Budweiser and Castrol. Like those are the 2 big sponsors of the Can-Am series. Like they were a big series. Like they were well known, and people respected them. So I hope we can get back there one day. I really do. And we'll see what happens, but autumn colors is a good start. Maybe a couple American races, and we'll go from there. But
I mean, last year we saw Han, McLennan, and Dominique. I think James Stanley as well. All went down and ran Auburndale. And
Yeah.
like that would be something I think if it's like an invitational, take 10 guys from the club and go and race 10 down there type of thing, you know?
And I was supposed to go to that, and the reason why I didn't is because my car wasn't ready in time. I was building a new car, a brand new car. So the car I ran this year is a brand new car from Dale Barton. Shout out to him. And I was supposed to make it to there. He just couldn't get it done in time, which is understandable. But
Yeah.
I had full intentions to go this year too, but I just dropped my car off yesterday to Dale again. So I'm hoping it gets done before Florida, because if it does, I'm 100% going down. Like I've been dying to go down there to Auburn to run with those guys, and it's going to be a fun race. Absolutely, it's good exposure for our club, for our drivers.
For sure.
And yeah, it's just something fun. Yeah, it's great. Like
When you guys do stuff like that, it's like the Kyle Steckley, Trayton Lapsovich, Chase Pinsino effect. I now want to watch that race because you guys are in it.
exactly.
Right. So when Wade Thorne and Chris Lawrence went down last year in their bone stocks, and you're like, yes, like I want to see this. I want to see our guys compete. Like Wade almost won the event last year in the bone stock deal. And I believe wasn't Daniel, it was Darren maybe was close, and I think one of them, or Dominique, I can't remember who it was.
Dominic was the closest. Yeah, she was the closest. Yeah. Actually, Dan had the worst luck.
Yes, he did.
Was down there days before to do like testing, practicing, whatever. First race, first corner, first lap. He gets turned. Goes cage first into the wall, wrecks it, and then he has to go to his spare car. Like the worst case scenario ever. I feel bad for the guy, but that's part of racing. But yeah, Dominic had the best luck of the weekend. And I want to go down there and do that too, because there's one guy that races. Well, there's two guys. There's Kyle Hutchison. He's very, very competitive. He's very good. He runs the New York Can-AM or New York whatever TQ series. And there's another guy, Andy Jankowski. He runs
Yes.
He runs modifieds. He runs ARCA. So when you run against guys who run like higher level series, it's more respectable. You want to beat those guys. You want to see how you can stack up against them, this and that, and it looks better for us when you guys watching, whoever else in our club watching. It's awesome. It's good. So when you do that kind of stuff, it creates a lot more interest, 100%. And I think that's what a lot of us need to do, because we have the opportunity to do that because our clubs do that. Now, that being said, the indoor stuff is a whole nother ball game. Like I would love to do that, but I need way more sponsors for one. Yeah. Because you got to have a complete built engine for that, for one. Two, you gotta have spare parts, because good chance you're betting stuff. You're betting rims, you're betting radius rods, you're betting Honda joints, you're betting bumpers, this and that. Like it's kind of a bash and crash kind of series. Not saying like it's like take guys out, bash and crash, but it's like your bumper, tail to bumper, kind of like all the way, hitting guys
nose to tail.
Happen. So the indoor series, like that stuff is so much fun to watch, but to compete in is a whole nother story. You know what I mean? Like it's just for that you can do it. Like unless none of our drivers can do it, but you got to have the money. You got to have you got to have some sort of
it's like a whole discipline in itself, I guess, when you go to those indoor things, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's bashing and banging the whole time. But I guess
that's got to be intense. Like the open wheel thing in itself,
right,
is a whole. But like when you're getting physical with them, like that's got to be a fairly calculated thing, because that can go real wrong and sideways or airborne, whatever.
You try to be as calculated as you can, but it's racing. Like stuff happens so fast, right? So
yeah, that's it. You're hauling ass the whole time too.
So it's you gotta have a lot of respect, and I guess, a lot of money too at the same time. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun to watch. I would love to do it, but a few more sponsors, maybe we could. But other than that, that's the indoor stuff. The outdoor stuff, it's pretty even playing field. I would say it's all about guys making the trip down there and making it happen. But I hope we can get back to those days and we can.
Well, even a club trip, like I thought about that for like the Legend Cars series up here, right? Like if you took the entire,
Well,
like if the, you know,
yeah, that's what we used to
Field trip.
would go down there. And
oh, okay.
yeah, that's what we used to do. The whole club would go down there, and sometimes. Well, so that's the thing. So we run up here. We run wings, right? There's only one club in the States that runs wings, and that's the ATQMR or something like that. I don't know. I think they're out of New Jersey or something. I'm not sure. I know I'm wrong, but it's close to that. So they run the wings, and then there's the Napa guys, the Penny guys. Like there's like 3 other series that don't run wings. So when we used to run down with the American guys, we would usually run 2 different series. We run the Can-AM guys and the American guys. You know what I mean? But if you want to run with the American guys, you 100% can just take your wing off. If the American guys want to run with us, you put your wing on. So that was pretty cool. But we would still a lot of guys would do that. You know what I mean? A lot of guys would do that. But we wouldn't. The only thing we never done is like combine 2 series together. That's since 2012, since I began. So we never combined 2 together. That's the only thing we ever done. Like then that was when Kenny Lorenz used to run the series, and it was always like Can-Am guys and then the American guys. You know what I mean? We do our parade laps together, but after that we run our race and they would run their race. But it'd be really cool if we would combine both races. You know what I mean? Like both series together. Sorry, and run one race, but we would have to decide on wing or non-wing, and then obviously it'd be like usually 26 cars, and then for the A, and then if you don't make the A, then the rest go home basically. So that's what would have to happen if we were run together. But I think end of the day, both presidents wanted to run both series, and then all guys get paid out.
So Jeff, I want to ask. There was a lot of debate following Autumn Colors.
Yeah.
And you're the guy that would be, this question would work good. We asked Mike Homewood a couple weeks ago about it. You've run both Outlaws and Can-Ams, and there's a lot of questions on safety. What's your opinion on the safety of midget cars racing? Obviously, they're 2 different types of cars. One's got suspension, one doesn't. But I think we've seen in both divisions, there's been some pretty severe wrecks. But for the most part, I think, again, things are mostly safe. And it seemed more like it was just as we talk about in any time of racing, it can be any type of hit. It didn't matter. It just happened that bad luck was on the Outlaw Midgets at Autumn Colors.
Right. That's a loaded question for sure.
Okay.
End of the day, it's how the accident happens. You know what I mean? You could get some, and anything. You could just catch a wheel a weird way and just flip you, and that could send you like 14 barrel rolls. You know what I mean? You could just get hit once and just flip once. That's definitely a loaded question. Like,
well, you've taken some hits in these cars.
Oh, absolutely. I've been upside down. Well, many times, absolutely, yeah. Outlaws and Can-Ams. Yeah, so I've never been hurt significantly. Never. Thank God. Touch wood.
Yeah, touch wood.
Outlaws. Outlaws to Can-Ams. I think there's no difference really. Like for safety reasons, I think they're both pretty safe. I think.
What takes the impact?
So
what's your likely, if you were going to be injured, is it a back issue? Is it your arm? Like what is it that people would be in fear of?
okay, over the years that I've heard from Outlaws and Can-Ams, I think it's been back issues, 100%
Okay.
back. The car owner that I bought my first Outlaw midget off of, he crushed a couple of his vertebrae at a Peterborough race. He went end over end, crushed a couple of vertebrae, whatever. I ended up buying his car. He fixed it. I ended up buying his car, winning a championship with it, whatever. There's been a guy, Craig Pitchell at Stubble Beach. He got turned sideways, but he went backwards into the gap in the starter stand. So that's 8 there now. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So that was that one. There's been Daniel Bois, who went up in nearly 10 feet in the air into the fence in the back straight at Sauble. He went unconscious, but he was fine. But he had a little bit of back pain. Who else had back pain? There was one more. I'm gonna say back pain is the most common thing, but
if we look at it, Corey McAllister at Sunset this year was in a late model and had the exact same issue. He had severe back, he had a broken back in the end. But compare this, it's two completely different vehicles.
Absolutely.
So
and Corey's didn't seem that crazy.
No, yeah, exactly. Went over top of Kendra Adams, and it came but it's the impact and how it impacts, right?
It's the way it hits. I think whatever we do, unless we're like in like I don't know, a bubble that has like springs around it or like air suspension around it that just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's anything we're gonna stop this. Like, even like
that's right.
Big NASCAR drivers, they get in the big wreck, they still get a little bit of pain here, a little bit of pain there. You know, their head gets shaken up. I don't know. Like, I don't think we're gonna get to, unless we like completely put ourselves in a bubble. I don't think we're gonna completely 100% protect ourselves. I think we're gonna slightly get injured here and there until we find something that completely protects us, which is like pretty much like a bubble, like something like a seat that has shocks all around us. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's always going to be something that's going to kind of maybe us, because we're not at that point yet. Like, we're still learning, we're still developing this and that, but like, we're not at that peak yet. And at the end of the day, like, we haven't gone through every single scenario of crashes, so we're not gonna know exactly what this tweak does, that tweak does. You know what I mean? Like, there's every crash is different, so we're gonna feel different things. So, end of the day, for any car or any series, you know, you just hope for the best and you try to protect yourself the best. But there's, at the end of the day, that there's gonna be something that happens. You try to prevent it the best you can, but it's going to happen eventually. I think it's kind of inevitable to get in a wreck, for one, to injured, but let's not hope that.
Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right. It's a case by case basis, and you never know these things, as you say, that like you can crash cars a million and one ways, and you're going to find another way. It's going to present itself at some time down the road or whatever. But at the same time, getting into it, like that's why we do it, right? Like, there's the allure of an element of danger. I mean, like, if it was perfectly safe, everybody would kind of, like, if it was easy, everybody would do it. I guess it's the mentality, right? Like, it's something that attracts us to it. Is like breaking news: racing's dangerous.
If it was that easy, everyone would just crank the wheel left and hold their foot to the floor. But
that's what all the casual fans are like. Oh, it's just left turn. So that's what the ignorance is, right? It's just like, it's so much more than that, and it's very, very true that way. And we're constantly, as a racing community, unfortunately, finding new ways to wreck cars and conversely new ways to address those and maybe move forward in a better way and learn from it in some form or fashion, right?
Got to be innovative, and we got to keep progressing in that way to protect ourselves.
Yeah, just be vigilant. We're never going to eliminate it, but it's just something that, like you say, you just you dot all your I's and cross all your T's, do your bolt checks and everything, and try to ensure that like all the safety precautions are taken, and then you just kind of got to let the chips fall where they may, right?
And that being said, like obviously, uh, cars with fenders are a lot more safe. Cars with open wheels are a lot more dangerous. Like that's a given, right? So us being open wheel and modifieds too, they're a little bit more dangerous. But us,
Mm-hmm.
we're a little bit more dangerous than modifieds because we're a lot more lighter. So if we catch a wheel,
Oh, for sure.
we're doing a lot more damage than a
You're
modified.
going to the moon.
So, but we try our best to be safe, and we try to be respectful as race car drivers and give ourselves room and this and that. Like,
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's all about inches. So, you give as much as you want or you can, and after that, it's just it could get ugly. But that's just part of racing. That's all there is to
Yeah.
it. Try our best.
That's what makes you guys good, is you're the awareness of wearing where the corners of your car are, where your wheels are, where you're placing yourself, sticking your nose in a hole or whatever. I mean, that's why we watch. That's why you guys do what you do.
And I just wish there was a little more fan base for us, because I feel like we put on a good show a lot of the time. I feel like we do, especially being those lot. I feel like we should have a little bit more respect, because it's open wheel, but and we're fast too. Like we pull fast. Like
Yes, you guys are extremely fast.
yeah, we are. Like even the super lates, we're sometimes faster than them. Pro lates, we're usually the same times. Anyone else, we fast. So like we're pulling like the speed and the lap times is a lot of respectable series. So I just feel like we should earn that kind of respect a lot of the time too, especially being open wheel. But you know.
Give me one name, Jeff, that if you're going to take Ontario racers that are top of their game, and you want to stick them in a Can-Am midget to see if they can truly be the best, who are you sticking in a Can-Am midget?
That's a put me on the spot here. Here we go.
Of course.
The hardball question.
You didn't wait to be on this podcast for nothing, man.
Top three. I'll give you top three.
Okay.
There you go.
We're gonna do Steckley, obviously. That's a number one. Steckley. Fitzpatrick is another one.
Yep.
And it's funny because he got into one time. It was the sister car of my old car, and it was actually at Flamborough. There was a video of it. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. It was me. I think it was like Fraser, and Fraser races 360 sprints now or whatever. And it was Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick, I don't know. It was his first time in the car. Got a little squiggly hit. I think Fraser hit my like right rear, spun me, and like Fitzpatrick went. Look it up. It's at Flamborough. You see?
Oh man.
Goes do. But anyways, it would be Steckley, Fitzpatrick, and then I don't know. Who's the top super stock guy right now?
Oh boy.
Who would you guys say is top super stock guy? Would you go who's the
based off of the last two seasons, it would be Carson Nagy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually oh yeah. Okay. So,
you shove Colton in one of those things.
Zardo, or who's the 03?
Ray's is a late model racer though, so
but he went Cascar too, no?
He did a start, yeah.
Okay, so between those three guys, you guys think Nagy be
he's good.
Okay, so we'll go Patrick, and we'll go
Carson Nagy, eh? Well, Jeff, we could go and talk for hours and hours and hours, but we can't because we got podcast lengths that are there for a reason. And we want to give you the opportunity, though, to shout out some thank yous and your partners. This is an opportunity because they're the ones that help you get to the racetrack each and every week. And we want to make sure that you get the time to thank those partners, everybody on the race car, and those who help you out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me on here today. I really appreciate it. I respect everything you guys do for the racing community. I really do. Uh, First and foremost, my mom and dad, obviously, those are number one. My dad got me into this, and I love it so much. My mom has always been there for me, supported me. My girlfriend Flo, she's been there the last few years, and then my sponsors obviously are a big one. We got BD. BD is number one. He's been there, huge. He's actually a big sponsor of Sunset now. He's got a big billboard up there. We got Lloyd's, which is in Aurora there. They're auto and truck clinic. Kimmy is the one who hooked me up with that. She's awesome. She's runs the front desk. We got Brayford Sod. Oh, I was wearing the sweater. Brayford Sod. They're out of Bradford there, or Beaton, and they do the sodding. We got Edge Performance. They're out of Bradford there. They do also good stuff, ATV stuff. And you know what? My crew is a big one. Like we got Vic and Dylan, who used to work on a TQ before, James Gray. And they won Sportsman of the Year. They won Mechanic of the Year. That's when Vic was working on it. And Dylan was like, I don't know, 2 years old, little kid now. But now Dylan's 17-year-old, and he's gung-ho for it. So he's working on the car. Him and his dad, Vic, they're great. Brian, he's out of Barrie there. He's been helping out quite a bit. Austin, he's in Flamborough. Austin's he's a good guy. When I first met him, he was like 15, 16 years old, and he reached out to me on Facebook saying, "Hey, I want to come help work on your car." And like, okay, you know what? Come out, meet me at the Motorama show one year. So he came out at Motorama. We shook hands, met each other, and that was like, oh God, I don't know, many years ago. And every year since, he's been at every race helping us. And his mom helps with the Can-AM club now. She does the scoring and all that. So thank you to her as well. Who else do we got? We got oh man, you guys put me in the spot. I'm like, my car's not here. Hard. Like I do it with all my sponsors.
No cheating.
I think that's pretty well it. Oh, Wood Brothers. They do drywall, all that stuff. They've been sponsoring me the last 3 years. They all those guys, they give me money. So money makes the wheel go around, right? That's half. So I appreciate all of them, and I appreciate all the guys that helped me in the series. Like Corey Whittam is a big one. Jaden, he's a big guy, the 13 car, and then obviously Kim and Terry for all they do for the club. We're gonna miss Albert as well. Albert was the founder of the club, and he's passed away just recently. So I thank you to him as well, and I'm gonna miss him. And
Absolutely.
And I think that's pretty well it. So it was a pleasure being here, talking to you guys. Too bad it couldn't last longer because honestly, I got stories. I got lots of stories.
Oh, I don't discount that. We just know that podcasts have to be a certain length to make sure people are still tuning in. But it won't be the first time. It won't be the last time. Sorry, that Jeff Blackburn is on the show. We got SNS Live. We got opportunities to talk at the racetrack. We'll be around lots, and I'm sure there's definitely time for stories with some BD's distillery beverages, which I know that there's probably a pretty big budget for some BD's for the Blackburns. So
Yeah.
But definitely thank you, Jeff. Best of the off season. We'll get to see you at the racetrack next year, and we'll definitely make sure we hang out and do some interviews at the track.
I love that. I'd love to see you guys around there. So
give the car a look over and give that beautiful beast the once over with the camera on it too.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
That's Jeff Blackburn here on the Stickers and Scuffs podcast.